This podcast is suitable for students between the ages of 16 to 25. If you're interested in self-improvement, productivity, study tips, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to the Sweet and Sour Podcast. My name is Abdulmumuni Hikmat. I'm a student just like you. I'm passionate about personal development and productivity. So, if this is your first time listening to this amazing voice, don't make it your last. If not, sweetie, you know how we roll now. Let me hear you say H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. Alright, hi guys, welcome back to the Sweet and Sour Podcast. It's been like, all my seasons back a lot, God I beg. Alright, so it's been like, how many episodes have we owed you guys? I think it's a lot, but technically, I'm sorry. Hikmat is here and
me.
Who are you?
They know who I am. Stop.
Okay, and we're back with. We technically think this is going to span out of like one episode. It might eventually turn out into a series, but we definitely hope you enjoy it. We have like really amazing guests today, and we're going to be talking about something that you really do not expect us to, or expect me to say on this podcast, or talk about on this podcast, and that's football. And you guys, the whole brain, the idea came from who?
Now that you're saying this, this thing has to bang because now that you're putting it on me.
All right, so let's like introduce our guest. So to my, is it my left or my right? Okay, now my left.
I don't have spatial memory.
All right.
It's just my name now.
Yeah, just say it.
Hi guys, my name is Richard, and
he came late.
Yeah. Aisha and Hikmat invited me to talk about football, so just hope to have a good time.
You do a lot of things, you're creative, so just sell yourself, basically. Right?
Sell myself.
Our listeners might buy.
No, that's when you
Okay,
hi guys, my name is Richard.
Okay. Okay, let's from the top. Okay, hi guys, my name is Richard. A medical student. I'm an artist too, and I also play football, which is why I've been invited to this podcast.
Drum rolls. All right.
Okay, so to my own right, we have just interested.
Oh my god, that was like a low blow, but I wasn't expecting that. So, hi guys. Hello, listeners. However, it is podcast.
We say hi, sweeties. You know, that's how we do. Hi, sweeties. Hey, sweeties.
I don't know if I can pull that. I don't know if I can pull that off. But my name is Justin. I'm a medical student as well, and I play football. I watch football. I support Barcelona.
Period.
Messi is the greatest footballer in the world. I'm even wearing an Argentina.
Oh my goodness! You didn't allow us to ask the question yet.
He's the best. Let's get that out of the way.
All right.
And yeah.
All right. If you don't think Messi is the goat, drop your own goat, I beg.
Yeah, drop your
own goat.
The comment.
Yeah, in the comments. Yes.
Drop your goat in the comments and argue it out. I won't be listening to any arguments because I already know the truth. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And I really look forward to discussing football. I mean, it's always fun discussing football, and so I really look forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so
we want to start strong.
Where are we starting from?
So we want to start strong.
Okay, let's start
want to do a little bit of an opener. Justin has done that. He has told us like what his favorite club is, who he thinks the GOAT is. Richard, what do you think? What do you think about those comments, those allegations?
I agree.
No! So you're a Barcelona fan as well?
No. I'm a Liverpool fan, but
Messi's really good.
Messi, yeah. Like when I was younger, I was a Barcelona fan actually because of my brother.
Okay, so what happened?
Then one day I just watched one Liverpool match, and then I just became a Liverpool.
Really, now that I think about it, how do we really become fans? Back to the actual question before we now dive into this one.
How do we become fans of things? What happened in that game?
I can't even remember to be like I just remember watching Gerrard and I was like, wow.
Ooh, okay.
So that was
you now proclaimed yourself.
Just like I don't even know.
Liverpool fan.
Like sometimes I feel like it's predetermined. Like I feel like you are destined to support this club because like I was a Barca fan like through and through. Like on my house, most of them are Barca fans. So like for me to just become a Liverpool fan like that, I just felt like it was.
At the oddity.
Do you know how we did it in my house?
Oh.
Hold on. Like if you like blue, you're Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
That's red, you're Man U.
Okay.
Like
Let me chip this in. I have the least amount of football knowledge here, right?
Ooh.
And it's weird that this is my idea, but I want to ask a question. How do you guys stay fans of like a club? Like I know that they phase out players. So it's like, could you even say it's the people you like? Like what do you like? Like what do you come to associate with the club itself? Because it's kind of like the club is just the club, right? What if everybody gets, I think there was a club recently and I saw a picture where like everybody that was the original player in that club is not longer there. Like, how do you now still like the club if it's not the people? Like, what goes on?
Barcelona fan now. Messi is no longer in Barcelona. Or Messi still in Barcelona?
No.
Nah, okay, yeah, he's no longer in Barcelona, and then he's still a Barcelona fan. So I think that's the question.
Okay, so like he said, it's kind of like predetermined or destined, I would say. I think that's the simple non-scientific way to look at it here. Like, but in the real sense, I think in general, you just sort of associate yourself with maybe what they represent. Probably something as simple as the crest, like the badge of the club, right? Something like that can draw you in. You can just look at the badge. Let's say like, and you're just, why do they have this in their badge? And you just get interested, right? It may be something like the colors they wear. You may just like the color of, or even the aesthetic of their jersey. You may just like the way the jersey look, and that like draws you in. And then you watch them, and then slowly you start getting interested in the club. So for me and Barcelona, well, we're kind of like opposites. So when he said it, I was just laughing because the first club I supported was Liverpool when I saw Gerrard play, right? So when I saw Steven Gerrard play, I was like, wow, this guy. And then later on, like around 2008 or so, that was when I watched Barcelona for the first time. Like, and even though I was still a child, it was like,
yo, who are these? 2008?
Yeah, come on. This is 2025.
I need to clear that out.
This is 2025.
Really?
Yes.
17 years ago?
It's been that long.
Oh, God.
So like, just watching Barcelona, I was fortunate that I started watching Barcelona at the peak of their powers. Like, that period was like one of the greatest, not just one of the greatest Barcelona teams, like one of the greatest football teams of all time. I started watching Barcelona at that time, and I was just like, who are these guys, man? Like, the opponents can't even touch the ball. Like,
why?
Like,
okay.
Because they're that good.
Is it also the history? Can we clarify this? You know, I call it Barca.
Yeah.
What is the actual pronoun? It's not Barca.
Yeah, it's Barca.
It's Barca, right?
Yes.
It's not Barca.
Yeah.
But I think Nigerians just say Barca. And I'm like, no, it's Barca. Like, because it has like,
yes.
It has like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been coming around.
Yes, now.
I've been coming around. So yeah, so I started watching them, and then Messi was there, and I was just like, who is this alien? Like, why is this so different? So that basically stimulated my interest. So when that stimulated my interest, I now got like interested. I got reading about the history of the club, and then I got to find out so many other very interesting things about the club, and like even some of the political undertones associated with the club. So you just sort of form this kind of kinship with the club, their anthem, the chants, and even when they phase out players, even though, because what you like is the club, like, is that identity you associated with, that identity that stimulated your interest. So, okay, sure, you'll be sad that so person is leaving, this person is going, but in the end, that initial thing that drew you into the club is still there. So eventually, it's just love. I think it's like falling in love.
What I'm hearing now is that the history is part of the loyalty. I mean, the loyalty sometimes is also because of the history. You know, something I'm quite like that has some kind of emotional connection with me with football, and I think it's the Liverpool slogan. You never walk alone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, like that, it just yes.
It's like a sense of community, right?
Yes.
Come on.
You get
Yes. And that's where we're going with the podcast. That's where we're going.
And then you know when you spoke about like you just being now, I'm actually saying it here for the first time, you guys. Yes, MR. So like, to be honest, I have always been an Arsenal fan, just because like when I was like young. Yes, to be honest, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it here really for the first time, and that's because like I think it had to do with the color, and then like all of us in my house, like that kind of like everybody was just diverse. Do you get? But even I don't even know. Not like I could associate myself with any. Obviously, it's not like I wasn't like you guys. I was like, oh, I really like this player. It was just really about the color. I'm like, oh yeah. So they ask you which club are you supporting, I'll just say one club, and that was like the one that was wearing yellow at the time. Then I think it got to me that like they did not always wear one color on dress. Do you get it? And then even till now, I cannot still come and denounce. How are you guys able to denounce what you I think I think that thing I'm not able to. I feel too loyal to denounce a particular. What did you say? You still eventually like Barca. You still eventually like deep down, deep down now. I watch more of Barcelona's matches than even Arsenal. But it's not like if Arsenal is playing, I would not be enthusiastic. Like I would even still want them to win, even though like I'm not really. I think you cannot really fully denounce a particular.
Like Justin said, it's like falling in love.
Sometimes, but it's unfair. Like unlike Justin, like when I started supporting my own club, they're not really doing excellently well. They're just like average. They're not average, but then they were falling short. So like during that period, sometimes I would think to myself like, why did I even support?
Why am I doing this?
Like I just started one day and now I can't leave. Even if I'm like, I'm not supporting this club again, let me go and support Barca. After all, I was a Barca fan. My heart, like anytime Liverpool.
Okay.
That's just how unfair. And it's funny that you mentioned color too, because like what even got me watching, at that point, like I'm a child now, so like what got me watching the match in the first place was like, these guys are wearing red and red. Like it's very cool. It's pleasing to see. Yeah. And then like watching the match, seeing how they play, like the players, especially Gerrard, like it was a huge. Yeah. That was the. Yeah, and then there was this guy too called Penance. He was there around that time. So like those are the two players that made me like start to support the club.
On connections to the game though, we're talking about like chants or slogans for teams. Like that thing they do when they sing, it's like, why is it so like emotional? Why is it the TikTok edits I see? Or is that how it feels?
It's not in English, so it's like in their language, and then it just has one kind of vibe.
Like you'll be seeing like is it as deep? What's going on?
No, I think that thing they've already initiators.
I think I can remember reading sort of like an article or something.
All right.
I'm trying to remember something about stadium chants, in like stimulating, like basically neurochemicals, neurotransmitters, like stuff like dopamine and stuff like that. I think I remember seeing an article like that. So I think that's just what it does. I think singing together with people, and it's not just football really. If you've ever been to like a concert or something and you just sing together with people, it just makes you feel like, oh, I'm part of something. Yes. It just makes you feel really integrated and like you're part of, this large community of people. And then even some of the lyrics of the chants, or like some of the words that they say during the chants. Like there's this popular Barcelona chant that kind of roughly translates to on the day of the game, I went to the stands, to the stadium stands, and then something like I heard this loud chant, and then I fell in love. Don't ask me why. I support Barca. Something like that's rough
because I always
translation.
We always say this Vista Barca. What does it mean?
Visca Barca.
Is it Visca?
So yeah, it's like long live
Barca.
Okay.
I use it, but I don't know.
And if they usually say it's in combination, Visca Barca,
yes.
Visca Catalunya. So that goes back to the political undertones I talked about
Yes. Speaking
earlier.
about that, I think it was what was their coach's name? I'm trying to remember his name. The one that is from the Catalan people. Yes, Pep,
Guardiola.
right?
Yes.
I remember seeing something online too about that, about how he wears this like yellow ribbon.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I just knew yellow ribbon was for like suicide awareness or something. And I saw it on him and I was like, okay, what's going on? That's when I checked, and I also saw that history of like,
Yeah.
Okay, can we if we want to like, but Abby, how do I say diverge a little bit? So Richard, speaking about, I want us to like leave, even watching matches to playing right now. You play football, yeah. So, what do you play, or what position do you play? Let me give you a disclaimer, right? I literally like watching football. I watch like real life matches. I watch like the one on TVs, but I really just don't try to understand it. I just try to just be there and laugh and just be happy. So just tell me what you play, and then just tell me what you play.
I play as a midfielder or a defender, like fullback, basically.
Okay.
I played centre back.
Wait, which one is centre back?
So centre back is like a defender that stands in the middle. He controls the middle of the defense. And fullback is someone who stays at the side, at the flanks of the field. Then a midfielder is someone who is in the middle, who like dictates the game. Basically, is in the middle of the pitch. So he's connecting the defense and the attack. And there's different roles in the midfield, but then the role I play is a defensive midfielder. So the person that stays very close to the defenders. So that's the role I play in midfield.
And what do you think? And whose role, or which I know that every role definitely is like very significant. But what would you say that what would you say that in playing a game, if you had this particular position as the bad one, and that game is gone. So I'll go with you first, Richard, then Justin, you answer that.
I used to be, like when I was younger, I used to feel it was a striker, because I was like, even if you play. If you don't have somebody to score, like there's no point, you've lost. Do you get?
Cough.
But now, like, as I started to understand football a little bit more, I feel like it's the midfield. If you lose the midfield battle, most likely you're going to lose the match. So the midfield is the most important position for me.
Okay, so for me, this is like a hipster take, or like a very, I think it's the goalkeeper, because right because come on, let's be direct.
It's about winning, yes.
Yeah, let's be like, if a midfielder makes a mistake, so you are in the middle of the field, you lose the ball, you still have like some time to recover. Somebody else can cover for you. Yeah. Even if a centre back makes a mistake, if you have like a fullback that is close enough or quick enough, they can cover for you. Your goalkeeper can even, if your goalkeeper is like a sweeper, it's a kind of goalkeeper that like comes out, he can cover for you. A striker, if you are having a bad game, you can score. Man, somebody from midfield can just pick up the ball and just fire a screamer, like from midfield, and score.
Like this guy that they call, what's his name? He what do they call his? No. He's like in medical school. What's his name? They call him striker or attacker or what?
Josh.
No, his name is he?
I mentioned Josh because Josh is our goat.
No, not Josh. Yes, they call him
Bola.
And literally, I saw why they call him Bola. Yeah, because like, damn, he should have fired the shot, and I'm like, where did I just go?
Yeah, you get. So like,
the goalkeeper for that set, it was just too good. I'm telling you, if not,
it was.
No, he was good.
So, but if a goalkeeper makes an error, so who's going to cover for him, right? It's just most times if a goalkeeper makes an error, it leads to a goal, and obviously goals decide games, and that's how it goes. So I think a goalkeeper's error is much more costly than any other player's error.
All right, Richard, you said you had a counter to that, so I'd like to hear it.
That's a very good take by the way. I agree with some parts of it. Like the goalkeeper has no fallback, you get. But then before the ball gets to the goalkeeper, like because I play like both of us play football, so like there's
So Justin didn't even tell us like where he plays.
Okay, so I majorly play in midfield. I play defensive midfield as well, majorly, yeah. But I can play any of the midfield positions, but generally I play in defensive midfield. Yeah. The whole Liverpool, Barcelona thing.
So like in in cases where there are cases where you be playing and then your keeper, like your keeper is not really that good, especially like we're not professionals here, so our keepers are not really that good. So like you just feel this weight of like you can't allow the ball reach. You get so when you say the goalkeeper is the most important position, it's like you're ignoring the 10 other soldiers that will fall before you get to the keeper, because the keeper has all the defense he needs. By the time the ball gets to him, that means his team has done everything they possibly could. And then at that point, that's most times you can't even blame the keeper unless he makes a mistake. You get so like it's a very important position, but then there are 10 other people too who have done a very huge amount of his work before the ball gets to him.
Okay, so there's
sorry. I think that this ties into. I'm going to get philosophical now.
yes.
So there's this great legend of Barcelona and Dutch football called Johan Cruyff, and that's one of his philosophies. In the style of play that he promoted, he said his goalkeeper is his first attacker and his striker is his first defender. Right? So I think that puts into perspective the points you've just made, such that, yes, if everybody puts their head on the ground and like, okay, we're going to start defending from the front. Yeah. So the first line of defense is the first person. And then when we are attacking, we're going to start attacking from behind. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense.
In my head, I'm picturing like, you know how the I don't know, in my head it's like the goalpost is like the palace, and then like there are just so many soldiers.
I had the exact same like mental picture when you were talking about this. I had the exact.
It's like the palace, and then
is the queen? Like, I mean the royalty most important person.
And then like they're just like 10 soldiers, like he said, making sure that like harm doesn't get there, and then if harm eventually gets it, that means
the queen should know how to fight
every single thing possible.
Okay, so initially this was to be the intro, and I'm really excited to hear you guys' answers for this one.
Why?
Don't worry, I'm not getting too deep. Tell me about the game that lives rent free in your head, and
Okay, so we'll take Richard first.
I answer you.
All right, Richard, you go first. I'll do next.
Okay, the game that lives rent free in my head is a game. A game in I think that was 2019. Yeah, it was 2019 Champions League semi-final. So
wow, it's how you get.
Oh my god, you guys can't see Justin, but he's like crying big tears.
What happened was, so like they play knockout games over 2 legs. So you play the first match and the second match. So the results, the aggregate score of the 2 matches as well determine whether you go through or not. So during the first match, they won us. Barcelona won us.
You've not told. Okay, Liverpool versus Barcelona.
Yeah, Liverpool versus Barcelona. Yeah. Okay. So they won us 3-0. You get, so all hope was lost basically, and this is like that particular season. Messi, who is like, is the GOAT, undoubtedly. So he was throughout that season. He was just like on his. He was, I don't know what he ate or he was on something. He was doing like, he was crazy. So even though he played against, there wasn't one free kick he scored us. He scored us that free kick. I was like, I don't think, I was like, this guy, they're too good. Like, we can't win them. So in the second leg.
In that moment, did you wish you were back to Barca?
Nah, I didn't even really feel bad, to be honest, because I was like, it's Messi. It's Barca. Like, it's Barca, sorry. Yeah. Keep saying Barca. So
it doesn't want you're Nigerian.
Yeah. So like the way they play, they could have even scored more. That's the fun. They destroyed us. That's what I'll say. Even though we tried, but then like they're just better. You get. So I admit this with this. I was like, you know what? They're just better than us. So we'll try next year. And then before the second leg, so Liverpool, the way Liverpool fans are, Liverpool as a whole, and like our motto now, you never walk alone. Like the way we are, we don't give up basically. And then I feel like that mentality had been lost for a while until that particular coach who was in the team at that time, he brought back that mentality of like, don't give up. Because his name is Jurgen Klopp. Yeah.
Is he the one that wears glasses?
Yeah, he wears glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we can have something in common now.
Yeah. So that mentality was lost for him because Liverpool always known, like if you check, even our Champions Leagues, there was a Champions League we won, the most recent one in 2005. We were losing 2-0, I think. We were losing 2-0 at halftime.
AC Milan.
Against AC Milan. And then we Yeah, we came back. So like that's just the kind of club we are. We don't give up. We don't like no matter how bad it is, you get. So that mentality was lost for a long time until this particular coach came back and he kept like the way he kept being like, you know what, you can still win, you can score 4 goals now. So in my mind I was like, you know what, it's true. Like you can actually score. So I was having that mindset until several of our key players went on injury. Yeah, like our main, like we had a trio of attackers basically that time. 2 of them were on injury, so we had to go into the match without So even again without our key players, the match was already like me. I didn't even really have any expectations. Like you know what, let it not be bad. Basically, just maybe 1 more goal or 2 more goals. But then the way back I entered the match, they were like, they were reluctant, they were sluggish. I was like, what's going on? And then we now scored I think we scored within the first 10 minutes. I was like, wait, it's just 3-1, we can. And then like that, second half, we scored 2 goals like back to back. I was like, before you know, and there's this popular moment, I'm sure Hans Justin in his dreams. our fullback, remember I told you fullback, someone that stays on he played a corner. Like basically he had set the ball and then the ref blew. But then like Baka's defense had not yet arranged. So he just played it quickly and then our striker now tapped it in. And that was the goal we used to.
The end of the match was 4-3.
4-3 in our own home.
3-0.
Yes.
Second half.
So like no, yeah,
Okay,
the second leg. Second
yeah.
leg. We won them 4-0 in our home. Which further like reinforced how much of a fortress our home is, because that was also lost for a while soon. Because the way our stadium is, but people have described our home stadium, it's called Anfield. So people have described it as being like in an enclosed, as if you're like in a room that the walls are too tight. And then people are just shouting in your ear. Like people on the walls like shouting at you. That's how they do. Like because of the way how passionate the fans are when they sing their anthem, how when they chant their players, like you just feel very, you as a player that's not from the club, you just feel very like, you get very claustrophobic kind of. You feel very clustered. So yeah, that's a match that like no matter what, that match just like,
rent free.
Yeah. It's just there.
Funny thing is that match also lives rent free in my head, but for different reasons. But Barcelona has caused me so much pain over the past year.
Oh my goodness.
But they have also given me some very good moments, even from like last season. But funny enough, the game that lives rent free in my head is not a Barcelona game. There are some that I remember very fondly. But the one that I can say rent free is actually 2022 World Cup final. Argentina versus France.
I think I watched that. Yes, I think I was in New Hostel.
I was in transit.
I was in New Hostel. That was one of Mbappe and Messi.
Yes,
I watched that. I watched that. Yeah.
So that game, we know the story. We know how Messi is the greatest footballer of all time. Everybody believes that. But
except Ronaldo
except apart from Ronaldo fans for whatever reason. And then the lead up to this is that a lot of people made fun of Messi that Messi can't lay claim to being the greatest footballer of all time if he had not won a trophy for his country. That was the original stuff. That he hasn't won an international trophy before, blah blah blah. There was a lot of noise, a lot of what would I call it now? Just trolling him and making so many nasty comments about him that how can somebody say he's the greatest player of all time if he hasn't won anything for his country? Even some of his, countrymen, people from his country criticized him a lot about that. Then I think it was either a year or I think the year before the World Cup, Argentina just somehow they brought in a new national team coach, and then they just had this array of players who are like younger than Messi, right? They're like younger. So majority of them grew up watching him play. So like they just idolize him and they adore him so much. So they just have this mentality of like this, we have to protect this guy. We are going to do everything possible for this man. Like, so they just idolize him so much. So you have this unique crop of players. You have this very unique team. So they went into the tournaments before Copa America. They won that tournament. Messi won his first international trophy. So the pressure was kind of off. But then you had the World Cup the next either the next year or I think it was the next year or the following year you had the World Cup, and then everyone is like, low-key, Argentina sort of has one of like the best squads in the world at this moment. Like those people that could see it were saying it, but other people were like, how is he going to win? Some of these players are playing in the Argentinian league, some of them play for Sevilla, some of them play for not so big clubs, no, blah blah. But anyway, those that saw it, and those that knew. World Cup started, Argentina lost their first game to Saudi Arabia. Everybody was laughing. World Cup favorites, blah, 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 blah. Look at the nonsense. Tournaments went on. Game against Mexico, second game. If Argentina did not win that game, they're most likely going to be eliminated. Messi scored. I think he scored. And then, so Argentina went into the tournament, the rest of the tournament with so much momentum. And then the final game, Argentina versus France. You have France that was basically like a super team. Like you have all these guys that, come on. I mean, it's France always has good talent. Always has good talent. But then you have Mbappe, you have Dembele, you have all.
Dembele. You know, I used to like when the commentator is saying Modric. You actually Modric.
So you have like this top, like it's so much talent, and then the game starts. Argentina scores. Argentina goes into halftime 2-0, 2-0 up. Come back for second half. France equalizes. 2 goals from Mbappe. And then it's like the game was just so open and back and forth, and I mean everything. That game had everything. The game had everything. I was on the edge of my seat, and the game went into extra time. Then Argentina scored again, Messi scored, and then Mbappe, they got a penalty and Mbappe scored again.
I knew that game dragged on for a long time.
And then it went into penalties, penalty shootouts. And then the rest is
history, right? I screamed you know what, but I screamed my lungs out.
I fell to my knees, right?
Really?
Like, it's just this, I don't know how to explain it, because I'm not Argentinian, right? Like I have zero ties to that country.
Yeah.
But there's just something so rewarding about seeing Messi. That you can say, okay, sure, I'm a Messi fan. Like for me, Messi never needed that World Cup to be the greatest, to prove that he's the greatest player of all time.
You know,
he never needed it.
Coming back to the realities of the world that we live in today, right? It's like people are just constantly setting a standard for what they believe is like something, right? Even when some of those standards, they don't really matter. Just like what you said with regards to Messi. And then that's how we also always see now, like Nigerian music industry, before you know it, Wizkid and Davido. It's never any other two people aside from these two people. And sometimes I wonder to myself that like, these people, do they really fight in reality? And or it's just their fans that like, just like, make it seem like they have their
one
neck
beef
slaughtered. Do you understand? Yeah. Because like sometimes I don't really get, and when you see, and the unfortunate thing is that like when people are diehard fans, they can just do the unbelievable just because they are diehard fans. All right, so
something I'm seeing to chip in a bit is like the psyche, like that goes into the way you guys think about football. Because I'm seeing is like it's not really about the events. There's just a lot of like history that builds the emotion that influences how you guys process these things. So it's not just Messi when the World Cup is like. There was a lot of backstory behind it, so it makes it more like more hyped. Yeah. So I wanted to ask another question, which was now I don't know how difficult this one will be, because when Hikmat and I were going through it, was like nothing. She was like, the answer is nothing. I was like, I want to hear them say it still.
Oh, okay.
What compares like to the feeling of like watching football? What is the second runner up? What can divert your attention from football, or what is a close second?
Like
what feels like
football or
yeah,
that's the question. Like, what compares to football? Like, my answer is definitely nothing, because I watch football. My cousins, my brothers, my uncles, they do that as well. So like, I actually watch football, and I know that like the feeling, I haven't felt that from like any other thing. But if you guys do that more than me, and you guys play, so you'd have much more to see. Maybe something to just compare to football.
You say watching football. Maybe the only feeling that would come well, maybe better sometimes is playing it actually. But then if you're asking football as a whole, and then something else, because me personally, I'm an artist, so if the only feeling that can come close to watching football is drawing or like learning about drawing. That's like for me, it's more personal for me. But I don't think it's not as close as in, it's not like it's 190. It's like maybe 100, 160, 150, like
But
that.
for you, that's what comes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a bit of context too, I definitely agree with what you said about process of creating. I'm a music producer, so I make music. But for me, I would say that feeling is like in a category of its own. I think the feeling of creating, of bringing an idea to life and watching it come together, it's slightly different in the sense that it's much more of a fulfilling, like it's much more like, oh wow, I was able to think about this and I was actually able to do it. Like there's this sort of self-fulfillment and it just boosts your confidence and you just walk around, having that feeling of like, yeah, I'm him. I'm like all that and stuff like that. But football is much more like pure euphoria. Like,
Do you know that's the word that was in my mind? It's just euphoria.
it's just purely,
It's just, I'm telling you.
it's just raw. It's just like a raw, it's raw and honest.
Yeah.
Like you can't fake the excitement
Yeah.
that comes with
Yeah.
the excitement that football gives you. I don't think it's something you can fake. It's just something that is visible. It's something that unites everybody, something that everybody just celebrates. And it's just, in
In a category of
it's just in a league of its own. And so with that context in mind, I would say nothing.
Okay. So back to you, Justin, to give Justin the mic. So I tried out football.
Playing.
Yeah, I did. So like I basically, like in secondary school, I tried out football, I tried out basketball, I tried out I did every single thing that I could have done. But I think I'm just very good at the only game that I'm very proud of myself that I can do very well is Scrabble, by the way. But I know that I tried out all of these things.
Yeah.
And one thing that I realized, or one thing that people that were playing football at the time always said, so I'm just trying to ask you if it's the same for you because you guys play, is that football makes you smarter. And fortunately, these people are actually very smart. Like the people that actually played football that time back then when I was in secondary school, they're really smart. So, and I'm the kind of person that's always curious to like, okay, what are you doing differently? Like, you know, I've always been like very inquisitive about asking people questions. So someone like, oh yeah, football makes you like really calculative and being able to process who to pass the ball next to and like just having a really good foresight. So is it that for you? Do you think it makes you a smarter person?
Okay, so this
Playing
comment,
football.
yeah.
Yes.
So this comment I'm about to make, first I'm going to apologize for it because it's going to reinforce probably some negative stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
But I just think that as far as modern football is concerned, that's what differentiates African football from like Western football at the moment. Because I feel like African football at the moment is still heavily based on physicality and speed and some of those things that like the world have moved on from, right? But I'll actually say a lot of intellectual work goes into football, especially modern football. Back then you had to be like the strongest, the fastest, the most physical, players had very, let me say, very generic rules or poorly defined rules that, so because they had poorly defined rules and not very, very like strictly laid out tactics, players now had to compensate for it with other physical attributes. So because I'm not particularly sound in my positioning, I have to compensate for it by being fast. Right? So I'm never where I need to be, but because I'm fast, I can rush and come back and then to look as if I'm where I need to be, right? I'm not very technically gifted with the ball, but because I'm strong, I can muscle off anybody that comes near me. You understand? So you have those, but the world has evolved. Football makes you smarter, and football has also become a much more smarter game to play. Like, it has never been more beneficial to be smart in football than it is right now.
Oh wow.
Because right now, modern football is just so tactical. Like the focus is on player profiles and what this person is good at, how this person can fit into my team, what instructions I can give, what rules I can give to so with all of that, if you look at the whole picture of football now, it's much more like, okay, it's much more like a game of chess. I don't play chess, but they say
chess is really
they say that chess is intellectual.
I tried out chess too.
I don't know. I feel like it's so boring. Everybody assumes I play chess.
No. It's not boring. It's not boring. Just more of like how we spoke about, trying to protect the queen. That's that's chess.
Wonderful. So that's just how football is now. It's just much more. I mean, there's a lot of technicality that goes into football. That at this point, as far as modern football is concerned, you have to be smart. And if you probably are not smart enough, learning the game makes you smarter and develops your intellect.
Okay, so now this one is for Richard. It's still the same question, but there's a twist to it, right? Which it felt perfect when Hikmat asked you that question. It's like football is full of like improvising, right? And you're a creative. So how do you see the link between like being spontaneous on the pitch and then, in your creative work as well?
Okay, let me just start by saying, like, what I noticed when I started playing football is I noticed football was a sport where it's the most honest, like it's a very honest representation of yourself, like how good you are, like what everything is just laid bare whenever you hold the ball. Like it's very obvious to everybody and to you how exactly how good you are, what you have and what you don't have. So I feel like just to answer the initial question, which was how football ties into making you smarter, I feel like football gives you what you lack. Like it shows what you lack and then makes you get. So like me in particular, like I know when I was younger, like I noticed I had very good decision making, I would say, even though that improves with time, but I had very good, like I could understand this better, but I noticed I wasn't responsible with the ball. And especially as a midfielder, since you're the one like controlling, you have to be very, like you can't make stupid mistakes. You have to be very, very responsible with it. And I feel like that football in general tends to teach you things about life too, because like I noticed that it started to translate in other things I was doing. Like I had to be, okay, this thing, I'm the one in charge of this. I have to be, I have to make smart decisions. I have to do this. So that's how, and then when you talk about like improvisation, I'm sure your question was like how.
Yes.
So there are many times on the pitch where, I mean, it's convenient because one thing, when you play football for a while, like as me and Justin have, you can kind of predict there's some patterns. You'll be like, okay, this is probably what's going to happen here. So it's very convenient at times when you can be like, okay, he'll probably do this. So let me put my leg here or let me come and stand here because I know you get. So it's convenient at times like that. But then there are times when like you don't really know. And you just have to let your instincts take over, which is another part of football that I like very much because I feel like it's as instinctual as it is intellectual. Because
okay, I like that one.
So there are times when you just have to let your instincts take over because there are some times when like I don't know what to do, but I'll just hold the ball because like I would say I'm blessed or like I know how to dribble a little bit. So I will just hold.
I did.
Yeah. So there are times when I'll just hold the ball. I'll just be like, okay, whatever wants to happen, I'll just react to it with my instincts. So that's just how, like when it comes to improvising, I just feel like I leave it to my instincts. And that has also translated from football into other stuff in my life, especially drawing too. Like me and Aisha had a conversation, I think that was 2 days ago when we went about how like human beings have been drifting a little bit from the instinctual side of things towards the more planning. Planning is very important, I agree, but then like most of the ideas you have now are born from instincts. I feel like planning was just like a systematic way of bringing your instincts to life, but then the instinct is the main. So you can't ignore your instincts. That's what I would say.
And Hikmat is like that as well. We had a conversation yesterday and she was like, this thing is instinctual. You guys should not structure it like let it flow.
True.
I'm still a person that I think if you don't see me in my creative energy, right? You think that like I probably have a script, like I just feel like sometimes you just need to like
Just let it come out.
just let it like
just let it come out.
also like this, because if you literally, the episodes that I put so much time into planning don't do as well as the ones I just
That's
like,
spontaneous.
Aisha, there's a code.
Do
Do you get? Aisha, let's cook. Do you understand? So yeah, and honestly, like I think being a creative, right, and just having that like I think what I like about being a creative, right, since both of you here are creative, is that like, the fact that you can just be spontaneous. Do you understand? The
Something
fact-
can come to you in the shower.
Yes, and, then, like, and I think we just have like I don't know if it's only me, but I want to believe it's not only me. You just have like so many bursting ideas in your
Yeah.
brain. It's like your brain is just
It's
like
full.
It's full.
Full,
It's
yeah.
full. It's so full.
You're thinking about things faster than you can execute.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't know. I think it's really nice too. Before I didn't know. I didn't used to know what it was like, what it meant to be a creative. But I think as I evolved, I now like the
Yes.
idea of being called a creative.
So this is where we end today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. Actually, the episode was really long, so we had to split it into two parts. The next part will be coming up during the week, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to the rest of it. So if you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a comment for us on Spotify. If you're listening from Spotify, drop a comment for us on Apple Podcast. Go to our Instagram page and follow us at Sweet and Sour Net. Catch you on the next episode. Until then, I hope you have an amazing week.